I tell you, I rarely get a chance to talk about this. I think maybe one time on Adam Sosnick's show when I was on there with George Gammon, but it was they were saying, like how do you feel about like what do you consider? I don't get this question very often, obviously, because it's really kind of out of my wheelhouse.
Right.
I tend not to talk about fitness too much. I mean, people so, oh look, he's wearing a tank. So so people go, oh wow, he actually does work out. Okay, yeah, I do. I also know a little something about like finances, and I'm not in any way like some crypto genius or anything like that. I am in no way a quote unquote millionaire or anything like that. But I think that what happens is like I'll hang out with like the Savo brothers and they think that I'm like more paid than I actually am. And I'm like, no, I just hang out with really rich people.
What are we talking about? The Off-White gang, baby. Off-White.
Yeah, it's Off-White gang. But I don't have like real estate. I don't have that kind of stuff. But I do have a different mindset about money because I make more money now than I did like prior to me, my work a day, my gig economy lifestyle versus like me being Rollo Tomasi lifestyle right now, definitely. And I understand like I think a lot of people like when they see like a Grant Cardone or they see like maybe Patrick Bet-David, like sort of like these financial guru guys. It's like I don't know that they like normies, right, have a frame of reference in the same way, because once you're past like the $100 million mark, like I mean Robert Kiyosaki or PBD or whatever. It's easy to say, oh, you've got to have this mindset about money and this and everything. It's like, well, if you're making like $50,000 a year, well, of course not, because I mean, you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You're wondering what's the best interest rate you can get for the house that you can barely afford, assuming you could even get a mortgage. It's like you're wondering about rent,
or even the down payment.
You're wondering about like car payments.
You're in survival mode.
And I'll tell you one of the best educations I had is when I bought my Tacoma, my Toyota Tacoma, and I'm sitting there and I'm about to buy the truck, and the guy's like, okay, well, we got really great finance programs. Like, oh no, I'm going to buy it like outright, right? Now it's the first time I ever bought a car, like went to the lot, bought it outright, right? Yeah. And the sales guy's like, oh, like I walk in, they're like this. I'm not walking in like Gucci, or I'm not like with my Yeezys or something on there. Like I walk in just like an average dude, and I'm like, no, I'm going to buy it outright. And that's when I realized that something had sort of like changed for me, like my thinking money wise. Mm-hmm. So I'll buy my wife's car outright. I paid off the loan for my mother-in-law's car and stuff. And I'm just like, now I have a different attitude about money, and now I kind of think of money in terms of. I've said this before, is like I look at money as like sort of a battery or
energy
as a currency. And the reason why they call money currency is because it's like an electrical current.
Yes.
Like how are you going to use that electrical current, and what are you going to use it for? So I look at it as like a battery. Right. What am I going to charge what am I going to use this charged up battery for, and how am I going to go put it into different aspects of it? And so maybe that's just me like looking at it from like I used to be that $50,000 workaday guy, and then I got into the gig economy, and then I got into what I'm doing right now. And so my attitudes or my even understanding of money was just really uneducated, certainly right up until I was about like 40, 45 years old. Right. And then it has gradually changed up to where I'm at right now. And so when I see something like this, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a great book, it probably is, but it's like to say somebody you have to change your mindset about it. I have, but it wasn't because I read a book. It's because I had to go through the process of eating top ramen to get to where I'm at right now.
The hero's journey, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about that is when I was talking to him about the book, I told him, I specifically told him, it's like, look, if I would have read this book like 4 years ago, I don't think it would have like absorbed it the same way.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like you do have to have some kind of life experiences, and you got to like understand like what's going on, or be able to reflect on certain experiences. So when you see a quote and you think about the quote, you think about all the things that it attaches to your previous like experiences. So then like it just resonates more.
I think so too, and I think I have depending on what your experience, your life experience. Right. Like I a good friend of mine, Jason Hartman.